back to Love and Pieces. I thank y'all for being here. I am just getting my laptop set up so I can find us there and join the chat with everyone. So give me just a second for that to catch up. There's usually a little bit of a delay for my laptop to connect since I'm recording with my phone, but we'll give it just another minute and I think it will work. It has every other night. But there's a first time for everything. So here we go. There we are. Now I got you. Okay. I'm hoping someone will tell me if you can hear me. I'm trying to keep my computer muted, but at the same time, I'm also wanting to use my earphones, my headphones, to try to cut down on noise. So I'm not sure if I've got it set up right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm taking off the headphones. I don't think they're working. So let me take them off. Hey, Miss Juju, can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Hey, Zippy, thank you for being here. Thank you, Juju, for being here. I was trying to use my headphones to kind of cut down on some of the noise in the room, and that wasn't working. So I don't know if y'all could hear me to begin with or not, but I am so glad y'all are here. I am just going to hang out for a little while. I need to convert this wood stamp to cling so that I can use it with my stamping platform. And so that's my project for tonight. I'm just working on some stuff I need to do, and y'all can come along for the ride. But I don't know if any of y'all have converted wood stamps before. Sometimes they're really easy, but this one has proven not to be. So I'm kind of running into some issues. I tried to do it a couple nights ago, and it kept tearing on me. So I thought I'm going to have to try to figure it out. But the first thing I'm going to try to do is to get this red rubber off of this block. And if you can see, whenever I try to do that, the rubber starts to split and pull apart. Sometimes they just pull off real easy. But this is beginning to pull, the rubber's beginning to separate a little bit. So I'm going to take my heating tool, heat gun, and I did not microwave it. I've not had good luck with that. I've usually, I'm speaking Craftinese. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing, Zippy, hang on because I'll show you. I'm going to try my heat gun on it, and I usually get some pretty good results with that. Just kind of warming it up a little bit. Just soften it a little bit. Okay, let's see if that worked. See if I need to give it another hit. That's coming off easier. It's still got a couple places where I split it the other night. And I'm going to get one of my spatulas and see if I can't get it underneath there. See if that'll help. There we go. I bet Hank would. Hank's a big industrial thing. Hank would melt the wood block, wouldn't it? Some of them just peel off real easy, but every once in a while I get some of these, and I don't know if it's a different kind or if they're just really old, but that rubber just doesn't seem to want to let go. Wants to split and tear. But they still work. I've still converted some of them. So let's see how this did. Not too bad. Not too bad. I lost a little bit of it. That's okay. And usually these blocks, I just throw them away anyway. So no big deal with that. Let's clean that off a little bit. Whew. And this one's unusual because you know how they usually have like a label that the top side's printed on? This is printed straight onto the wood. There is no label on this thing. So I'm going to have to make a label for my new one. And that's something I've not had to do before. So we're going to try that out too. Okay, so there's my label. And if y'all have been watching Miss Lori, she's been showing off her stamping platform. And I debated on getting one because I really liked my Stamparatus. But I finally did just go ahead and get one. And I don't know that I like it, y'all. I'm struggling with it. So I'm going to show you what I did to my platform. The first thing I had issues with was, let me get it off here. I needed something I could see, some grid lines or something down here. And this is just white. So I took some of the old Stampin' Up! Grid paper and taped it down just so I could have a grid to work with. And then I had some ruler tape, so I put a little ruler up there so I could see those marks. Hold it up here. It's got a ruler, and it's got the marks there, but they're so small, and it's white, and I can't see them. I needed something I can see. I've got old eyes to go with this old body. So I put me a piece of ruler tape there just to help me with the measurements. And then there was like a ruler on the side of this paper. So I cut it off and put it over here and lined it up because there's a ruler carved into the platform over here. But again, I just couldn't see it because it's so white and so faint in there. So that's how I've doctored it up first, just so I could have something to look at in a grid. And then the other thing that I was struggling with, I needed it to be a little bit sticky or something because those magnets aren't holding for me. So this is actually I think it's supposed to be used with like a vinyl cutting machine or something, but I got it at Dollar Tree. It's $1.25, or it was then. I don't know what the prices are now. But it's just a little bit of a sticky mat. So just a little bit of a stick to hold it. And I took it and I lined it up and marked where those dots were and just poked holes in it so that it lines up. So I'm really trying to get used to this sticky mat, but I'm struggling with it. So anyway, I need to get an impression of my red stamp on something that can be the label for it. So I'm going to use a little bit of tissue paper here. Let me put it down. See if I can smooth it out nice and smooth. Hopefully this won't tear. Let me see if it's going to come up good. Yeah, I'll be able to get that up. Yeah, that'll work. I'll be able to pull that up once it's stamped. So I'm just going to put this down here and smooth it out real good. And let me get some, I think I just want to use my basic black. Let me reach over here and grab it. Just my basic Memento Tuxedo Black. I don't think I'm going to do anything special for this label. I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to use that. And then to be able to use it this first time, I just need this to stick a little bit to the back of my to my platform. So let me get a little bit of tape here and see if this will work. So I'm just going to put a piece of double stick tape on there just temporarily to see if it'll hold it on my platform. So how y'all doing tonight? It's Saturday. Y'all ready for a good weekend? Are y'all having a good weekend? I just laid around the house today and did not do anything. I was so happy. Okay, this is not... There we go. Couldn't get a hold of it. So let me put this right here. And I'm going to take my top piece and set it right here and just pick that up. There we go. Did that work? Yeah. And then ink it up. Oh, glad you're getting to lay down, Juju. Girl, you wear me out. It seems like you're always got something going on. You got kids to doing with, or grandkids to doing with, or work to doing with. You're always a coming and a going. Okay. So I will say this. One thing I'm seeing with this red rubber, this red rubber is too thick for this stamping platform. There's no give. You know how when you usually put the plate down, then you have to push to get it connect? That red rubber that I've got is this isn't pushing down at all. It's too thick for it. But I did get a good stamp, so that's going to work for my label. Yeah, I can see that. I can see you not knowing what to do with some free time. I know how to handle some free time. I have a lot of that, and I am glad for it. I got grandbabies, but they live in another state, so I don't get to see them as often, and that's sad. But I'm kind of a loner. Like, I just do my own thing most of the time. Me and my husband both. We kind of like just hanging out on the couch and being chill. So now I'm just trimming this out. And I just stamped this on regular tissue paper like you would put in a gift bag or something. And I'm just gently cutting around it so that it can be the label on the back of my stamp. It's going to curl on me a little bit, but that's all right. We'll fix that in a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to scoot this to the side. Bring back my stamp. I think... Ooh, I got my little sponge thing wet. It's good and juicy. And pull that off. And now I'm going to need to glue... That's the top. I need to glue this down on here so that I've got my label across the top. And for that, what do I want to use for that? I think I'm going to use, I got lots of choices up here for glue. And I've got one that's specifically for foam. It's supposed to work really well for foam. Oh, no, it's dried out. I had to toss it. It was dried out. So I'm just going to try this one. This is the ultimate glue, Craft Pickers glue. It's fairly, I think it's new. I've not used it that much. Let me see if it's clogged. See if I can get some of it out. Ooh, it's thick. It's good and thick. And where's my spatula? I'm just going to spread that down. Because that tissue paper is so thin, I want a real good thick glue that's not going to absorb it into it too much. I want a nice thick, not a thick layer of glue, but glue that's thick. Alrighty, now let's see if we can get this on here. And And it doesn't have to be exactly aligned to the stamp. I'm never good at that anyway. I just want to make sure that it's all on the red rubber and that I'll be able to tell what this stamp is. You know, this is just so I'll know what this stamp is. Because it's hard to line up with that red rubber anyway. Okay, so got that on there. Where's my roller? I'm forgetting to look at the chat, so if I'm not ignoring y'all, I'm just kind of in the zone here with my computer off to the side. It's hard to see who's in the chat. Okay, I'm going to lay that aside for a few minutes and let that dry, and then I'll come back and kind of trim off anything that's overhanging, but that'll be my label on it. And then I'm going to show you this trick. This is actually, let me put away my ink before I stick my hand in it. I'm really good at doing that. This is a Stampin' Up! Set that's the new red rubber that's designed to cling on its own. You know, when you get these, you get the labels that come with it. Well, if you look around these labels, there's a lot of extra of that cling plastic. Now you can buy it. Stampin' Up! Sells just the sheets of cling, and if you're going to be doing a whole lot of red rubber conversion, you probably want to look into that. But just from time to time when I do them, I go find some of my new red rubber that's cling based, and then I just trim off some of this extra labeling stuff, and that's what I used on the back of it, and that'll help it hold to acrylic block. So what I'm doing, I don't know if you can see this on the screen, I'm just looking on this piece here, and like I can see there's a nice big piece of it over here. I'm not cutting the labels for those stamps. I'm just cutting what's left. Like that. And see, that'll go on there to help hold it. And let me see if I can get another piece. See if I can get this one over here. There we go. That's 2 good pieces. So when that's dry, I'll stick that on the top of it, and that's what will hold it to my acrylic block and make this into like a cling stamp now. Let me set that aside. Whew. All right. Let me check that. I may want that to dry a little bit more. I want it to be good and dry before I put that on. Trim it here. That edge is up on it real good. I may have actually gotten that lined up pretty good. There's not much coming off. Ooh, I did good. I did good. I want to hit that with my heat gun for just a second or two to dry it. Y'all know on your heating guns, the first click, especially if you're using the Stampin' Up, that's just good to dry stuff. The second click is the heat to heat emboss. It really gets some heat on it. Oh, that's good. That's good now. And then peel off the backing here. I always have to look and see which is the top side and which is the back side. So go down like that. So the slick side is the top side. So this is the slick side. So here we go. Press it down real good. And then get the other piece. Well, now I gotta get that other little piece of paper off. I can't peel the paper off. Got to get it up right on my face so I can see it. Here we go. Do the other one. I took my fingernails off a few weeks ago, my fake fingernails, and I swear I can't do anything without them. I didn't realize how used to have them. I got them. Okay. Now that's got the sticky, and that will hold it while I am stamping. Let's try this again. Okay. There we go. Oh, now it's stuck to my bottom one. There you go. And that's how you can convert a red rubber to use with your cling. Now, like I said, this is really thick. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it with this new stamping platform. I've used my other ones with my Stamparatus a lot and never had a problem. So we'll see how it works with this one. All right. Woohoo! Step 1 down. Stamp converted. All right. You know, I said this mat I got from Dollar Tree. The little magnets don't help as much with it. If I think I'm liking it, if I think I'm going to use it a lot, what I might do is actually tape the sides down. I could always pull them up and retape a new one if this loses its sticky. But the magnets aren't strong enough to hold through just this plastic mat itself. So just a thought there, but I'm just wanting to play with it and see what I'm going to like before I get too crazy and doing stuff. All right. Now I need to stamp out a whole bunch of these. What I'm doing on my Whatnot shop, I'm putting out a junk journal kit, and it's the journal, or a journal, and then different types of ephemera. And I want to put one of these book plates in there for people to be able to label their journal. Hello, everyone. Oh, Lori is up in the air. She's 39,000 feet. I feel honored that you're using your air online time to watch my show. All right, let me see where I've got this lined up here. This actually might work better on, is that the same size as that? I think I'm going to move this over to that little one. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think I just want to go with this. Just want to go with this one. I want to see if I can just stamp a good impression with this since it's so thick. I may wind up having to go back to the Stamparatus for it. But I'm just inking it up. Get it over here where y'all can see. Just inking it up with my Memento Black. The colors in the journals are kind of pales, except for there's a fairly decent navy blue in them. And so I wanted to try it on this darker to see if it would work. It may not. I may have to stick to the lighter colors. But yeah, there's just not enough room with this thick red rubber for it to press down. So it touches as soon as you do it. But that's not bad. That's a good impression. I'm not upset with that. That worked well. And because I had that sticky mat on there, the paper didn't lift up with it when I picked it up. So that works. Let's see, I can get another one this way. And these are going to be cut out, so I'm not concerned about the paper around them. I just don't want them touching. Scoot it over a little bit more. I think I am going to have to put a little piece of tape to hold that blue piece down. I do like it. I like having that sticky mat on there. So I'm just going to put a little tape to hold it down for now, so it's not constantly pulling up on me. So we'll ink up again. Press. I didn't ink that one quite as good, so I'm gonna do what the Stampin' Platform says it's good for. I'm gonna re-ink it because I can see kind of on the edges I didn't get a good impression. So I'm gonna re-ink it and stamp it again, and it should line it up so that everything's perfect. See, okay. That looks okay, but I don't know that it didn't kind of get a shadow to it. I'm not sure about that. It looks all right. I can use it, but I do think it didn't get aligned back perfectly. Let me try it on another piece of paper. Go to a lighter color. Ink it up really good. Press it down. That got a good impression. That works well. Turn it this way and get another one. I can't decide if I'm going to cut these out, like maybe get one of my dies out that cuts around it in a decorative piece, or just cut it out square and let the people who get it cut whatever design they want around it. Like if they want a specific design or die around it, they could shape it out. Got this too far down. I don't want it that close to the edge of the paper. It may look like I'm wasting paper, but like I said, I'm just going to cut roughly around these. So I didn't get good on that bottom corner. Let me try that again. There we go. That's better. That's better. Do it this way because I want lots of space around it. Ooh, that's a good impression. That one looks good. Let me do another sheet. Some of the other colors are yellow. And then I think I might try heat embossing one and see how it looks. Let me do these in black because I like the yellow and black. And then I've got a couple darker ones I may try heat embossing with. Since we've got the heat gun out, got it heated up. Keep missing that bottom corner. Try it again. Actually, the ink is on the stamp. I just didn't press it down good. Yeah, there it is. So I do find that I like the sticky mat better than no sticky mat in using it. It was just the paper was moving too much and I couldn't keep it in the right spot. And then once the paper moves, you don't get a good I don't get a good second impression if I have to go back and restamp. Get those corners. Okay, Lori. Yep, you hang out up there in the upper balconies for us. Go. Let me do one more down here on this end. I was one of those people that was just in love with the Stamparatus, so it's going to take me a while to get used to this platform. Ooh, there goes the neighbor. I can always hear his truck fire up. Of course, he probably says the same thing about me when we start our truck. All right, let's see. Where do I have another piece of that dark blue? Let me see what I got here. That's not quite. Yeah, there we go. I don't think that the black will look as good on this, so I want to see if I can do maybe a couple heat embossed. So let me clean off my stamp. And then where's my Versamark? Versamark. And white. Nope, that's clear. Black. Ooh, silver might be pretty. Let's try one with white and then we may do one with silver. Okay. There's the towel. Oh, let me put the lid on my Versamark. Not my Versamark, my black. If I don't keep the lids on my ink, I will smear it everywhere. I'm a messy crafter. Here's the Versamark. That looks pretty good. I can see I got all those spots, all those places. And let me flip it around and stamp the other side, and we'll do them both at the same time. That one's not quite as dark. I'm going to try it again. Doesn't look like it's got as much stuff. Oh, you know what? I forgot to use my little whatchamacallit, anti-static pad. There may be fingerprints all over this. We'll see. We'll hope not. We'll see. I forget to use my little bag. I don't do a whole lot of heat embossing like this. I do more kind of in that junk journal vein where I'll just kind of smear some ink, or I don't care if it's got the marks. Like, I'm not trying to do really clean heat embossing. I like it more as an accent or adding designs to paper. Those corners again. Didn't get them. Much better. Much better. I use one of my old paper pumpkin boxes to do my heat embossing in. Try not to get it everywhere. No, that doesn't, that looks really blotchy. I'm not sure how that's going to do. Let me try the silver. Do I have... That's supposed to be the fine, the Wow Fine. Let me try the silver. Let's put silver on one of them. I don't think that's going to work. That's the glittery silver. Let me pull out the plain silver. Where's my silver? That's the clear, right? Yeah, that's clear. Okay. Let me try this silver. I don't know how that's going to look. We'll have to see. I think we'll go back to the white for this other one. Just like I have to put the lid on my ink, I have to put the lid on my embossing powders. If it's got a lid, I got to put it on it because I will spill it fast. There it goes. Okay. I love how that silver looks, but I don't know if you can tell, it's like you lose the detail in the roses. It's got such fine lines in it. And that one I did get a little bit of a smear. So I'm not sure I like the heat embossing versus kind of our regular ink. It's easier to see the writing in the regular one. So I think I'm just going to stick with the regular. I don't think that works well with the heat embossing. Sometimes those really fine detailed stamps don't. And I'm not mad about it. It's all right. I can put Wink of Stella, or they can put Wink of Stella. There's a lot of things you can do to add shimmer and shine to it other than heat embossing. So we're going to go with that. And I got to wipe up my space here. Put up my mess of stuff. Okay. Are y'all interested? Y'all want to see the journals the kits them putting together? Are y'all interested in seeing them? I've done journaling kits before for little workshops that I do at the nursing home. And I had some leftover stuff. So grab one of them. So this is one of the notebook styles. It's just kind of a plain little notebook. This one's got plain paper in it. Some of them have the bullet journal pages. Some of them are lined or grids. But this one's just plain. And then I'm putting together like some coordinating papers to go with it. And then I found all these like matching ephemera pieces that'll be part of the little kit that they get. So different placeholders, different labels and tags, just different pieces, and all sorts of goodies. This is a cute little file folder. I think that's precious. And then again, I'm putting together a few things like I want to put in a label for them. I'm going to punch out some tabs to help them tab. But this is one of the mental health journals that I help people put together. So it's also going to include different pages on like working with anxiety, helping to release stress, paying attention to when you feel anxious, different journaling pieces to help you to help you kind of work through some trauma and stuff. So that's my next goal. I think I'm going to have 20. I think I got 20 notebooks left that are little kits that I'm going to put together. And once I get all the ephemera pieces kind of added, then I'm going to finish up the pages. I've got one of the pages out on my Ko-fi page right now, Ko-fi site, and it's the notes for the doctor's visit. And so I kind of adapted that from a page I had about working with a counselor and going to see like a therapist, and kind of taking notes about what you wanted to talk about with your therapist, and notes about, you know, their suggestions after your visit. So that's where that page came from. And I turned it a little bit more towards just regular health instead of mental health. So that's what I'm heading for, is to try to work on some of these kits and things to be on Whatnot. So I am, now that I've got a couple of these done, let me see. I think what I'm going to do is just trim them out. All that to the side. Now I just need to trim these out so that they can go in that ephemera with it. So that's the ephemera piece that'll go in the book, into each book. Different colors for different styles. Some of them are black and white. Some are more of a blue and peach color. But that's what will go. So they can either do the outside, or they could put it on the inside, or like a cover page, wherever they want to put it. So that's what I'm working on. Hello, Miss Allie. Oh, spending time with grandkids is awesome. That's the best. Hopefully you're spoiling them and making them rotten and then sending them home to mom and dad. That's the goal of any grandparent, is to spoil the kids and send them home to mom and dad. I don't want to trim these too close. I want there to be plenty of room for them to do something with them if they choose. And that one's a little crooked, so let me straighten it up. There we go. Plenty of room for them to decide if they want to do something else with it, or, you know, if they want to decorate around it or tape it down, however they want to use it in their book, if they want to use it in their book. That's one of the things when I do mental health journaling. I always say that there is no right or wrong. There is no way to do it that's better. It's all about what makes you happy. And sometimes that's the hardest part, is just letting go of what you think things should be and accepting what they are and what you can and cannot do and change about them. So I really think journaling is a good mental health prompt. And so I really try to encourage that whenever I teach crisis response classes. I always try to promote journaling. I think it's one of the best things you can do to help your brain settle down if you're in crisis. Trim this off a little bit more. Oh, you're not allowed to spoil? That's fun. That is fun. I bet you could spoil them and they wouldn't know. A piece of candy here, a lot of extra sugar there. my brother-in-law, when my husband's brothers, there's three of them, and they're all boys. When one of his brothers started having kids, the other brother said, "I'm going to buy them every loud, banging, obnoxious, rowdy toy I can find." Just to get back at his brother for the way they were raised together, for all the times his brother beat him up. Don't think I'm going to use these as much as I would. As much as I like the idea of the heat emboss, I just don't think that looks good. So I'm going to put that in my. That's going to get pulled back into scrap somehow. They just won't let you have any fun. Let's see here. That's the best way to start with this one. Let me turn it this way. Yeah, if the 5-year-old's going to narc on you, then there's not much you can do. That's crooked too. Straighten it up. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna need probably 13 more of these. I think that was what I needed the other night. Why do I keep coming up with 13? Is 13 lucky or unlucky? That's unlucky 13, isn't it? Ooh, I have to work on that. I think I am going to go ahead and stamp more of them off right now, because I did pull out the cardstock that matches the journals, the different colors. I want to go ahead and get them all stamped. That corner again. I keep missing it. Yeah. When this red rubber stamp was on the wooden block, I struggled with stamping it, and I thought maybe it was just because of the block. Now I think the stamp may have like one of the corners may be worn down a little bit or something. Maybe it wasn't printed quite as good, because I'm still having the same struggles. And that was part of my reason for wanting to convert it from the wood block to a cling mount so that I could restamp. So I'm really glad I did that. That was something I needed to do. Glad y'all were with me to do it. Oh, cool. What did y'all paint, Allie? Were you doing Easter crafts? Getting close to Easter? 3. This will be 6. That'll be 9. I need one more sheet. I need to pull out another color. Easter crafts and cards. Awesome. My grandkids, I mentioned earlier, are in a different state, so I don't get to see them quite as much. We FaceTime with them a lot, and with my husband, well, my husband and I both being disabled, it's a little hard for us to travel. And with the kids having 2 kids of their own, it's hard for them to travel. So we do a lot of FaceTime and phone calls, and of course we get to see everything on Facebook. Their mom and dad are really good about putting up pictures and all the different stuff so we can keep up with them on Facebook. We appreciate that. Yep, it's that bottom corner that just doesn't want to, you got to really push on it to get it to connect. Juju, I think I've missed you the last couple nights. I've been falling asleep. I slept late today, so maybe I'll be awake to catch you tonight. Nope, that's the other corner. Whew. I'm gonna have to get me a fan in here. My cats, when they come in here, they jump up on the counter, and they don't give me any peace. It's hard for me to work with them in here, so I have to keep the door closed when I'm doing my lives or when I'm filming, and it gets hot in here. Allie, this is actually a old red rubber stamp. It's not Stampin' Up! That I just converted tonight. Petaluma, California is all it says. Made in the USA. But I've got a lot of wood stamps, and this was one that I really liked for journaling. But like I said, every time I'd stamp it, I'd have a corner that didn't show up good or something. And so, because I needed a lot of them for these kits, I decided to convert it. All of my paper and ink is Stampin' Up! But my stamps, I've got everything. I've got stamps from, I've got tons of stamps from everybody. So the way I converted it, I used my heat gun and just kind of warmed it up just a little bit, not too much. You don't want to melt it or anything, but I just warmed it up a little bit and then gently pulled off the red rubber, just pulled that whole thing off. And I used a spatula to help me kind of slip it off. But when I pulled it off, then I stamped it on a piece of tissue paper, so that I could get the design on the back, because this, usually there's like a sticker on the wood that you can peel off, but this is stamped directly on the wood. There is no sticker. So I had to stamp it onto a piece of tissue paper, and then I glued the tissue paper down on the red rubber. I did that at the very beginning of this video. So if you want to go back and see how I did it, I actually did it on camera. Bye, Lori. Safe travels. But yeah, that's I've converted quite a few red rubber, and sometimes they work really easy. This one didn't want to pull off quite as easy as the others did. I had to work on it, but yeah, that's how I converted it. So Allie, you've got stamps from everybody too. Yeah. I fell in love with Stampin' Up! Ink and paper, and just when I got used to that coordination and how everything works so well together, I decided that I was sticking with it. So I've worked out and gotten rid of all my other ink and all my other papers, and the only ink I've got now is Stampin' Up! And I do have some StazOn. I've got several different colors of StazOn, but to me that's a different kind of ink. But I use Stampin' Up! For everything, from junk journaling to all my crafting inks. And same thing with their paper. Okay, I need one more piece. Let me see what I got that matches. I think the cream is going to match the most of what I've got. So I'm just going to do another one on cream. I wish. So now that I'm getting, if I get used to using the stamping platform more often and having to actually take my ink pad to the stamp instead of the other way around, I always do it the other way around. If I get more where I'm doing this all the time, I'm going to make me one of those, what'd she call it? An ink bandit. Have y'all seen those things? It's like a little tray that holds your ink that you can set your ink on upside down like this so that it's easier to pick up. And if we're going with Stampin' Up, going to that new stamp pad style, it'll be easier to use that too. So that may be my next video, is to make one of those stamp bandits. I guess I could have had out my, I don't know if that'll help. That makes it rock too much, I think. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be using that much or not. Okay. Ooh, I got lots of ink on this one. to get my actual sponge chamois. That's the other thing about this platform. It's really hard to use the chamois on it. But I think it cleans off my stamps better than that little rag that comes with it. There we go. Okay. Now I can just peel this off because it's got that, oops, my stuff's sticking to my plate instead of my stamp. I may have put it on while it was still too damp. Yeah. There we go. But put that up. And that one's good to reuse now. And that's got a little, that's that piece of tear and tape I used in the beginning just to hold it for till I got it stamped. Still got 2 other companies of inks, and yeah, I kept some of my other inks for a while and used them with junk journaling and different things, and finally just decided, actually it was more of a space thing. I was getting more and more of the Stampin' Up stuff and needed to make space for another one of those Stampin' storage holders. And so I just decided to get rid of all my other inks. Like I said, mostly to make space for all the new Stampin' Up stuff. Or the new Stampin' Up things I was getting, the inks I was buying. And a lot of my tools come from Stampin' Up, but not all of them. My tools are all over the place, and a lot of them are really cheap, like the stuff from Dollar Tree and you know, those kinds of things. And plus, I do so many different kinds of crafts that a lot of my tools just kind of float over. One of my favorite pokey tools that I used forever, where is it? And I used it until I got this pokey tool from Stampin' Up. This is a stylus I use when I sew to help run the fabric under the needle. And this is I always reach for this for any kind of sharp point, or to work with the detail, or to put on my gems. I finally had to kind of put it back out of the way when I got my pokey tool, because I still kept reaching for it. But now that I've gotten the pokey tool, and I've made myself learn to reach for it, I really like it. I just had to like switch the habit. Oh, Harbor Freight, yep. Harbor Freight is a really good place to get some stuff. What's some of the good stuff you found there? Every time someone tells me what they bought there, it's like, I never would have thought of that. I'll share one of my favorite things. There's several, if I did a thing of my favorite tools, this would definitely be on it. This is one of those telescoping flashlights. So you can just telescope it out. And it's really good and bright. I don't know if y'all can see that under the light, but it's magnetic. So when I drop any of my pens or anything metal, then it helps me find it and I can pick it up. So any of my metal stuff, and it's magnetic on both ends. It's magnetic on the flashlight end and on the other end as well. So I've really appreciated that when I drop dies or anything like that. But I've really gotten spoiled to being able to spotlight where, like if I drop one of my straight pins, I can spotlight it and then pick it up with a tool. Oh, well, y'all, that is what I had in mind for tonight, was just converting that stamp like we did, and then stamping off some of those and trying to get used to my new Stampin' Up platform. Those of y'all, if you want to go back and look at it, I talked about, I felt like I needed something sticky to help hold the paper down, because even with it, you're supposed to like line up the corner and stuff. My paper would still lift up whenever I would take the stamp up. My paper would stick to it. And then when I would try to get my paper back in the right spot, my cardstock or whatever it was, and I'd restamp, I would get those ghosted images. So I felt like I needed, the magnets didn't seem to hold it as good. I needed something sticky. So I picked this up at Dollar Tree and poked the holes in it so they'll stick on my platform. Pokey tools, yep. Oh, the sanding. I keep meaning to pick up some of those sanding blocks. Magnets, yep. Cloths, paper towels. Yeah, I see those. I see people talking about the sanding blocks for a lot of different crafts, and I need to pick up some of those. I do quite a bit with wood, and I get a lot of the wood from Dollar Tree, and it's always rough. So I'm always having to try to like find some sandpaper or do something with it. So I need to get some of those sanding blocks. Okay, ladies, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I've had fun tonight. I'm really just trying to get in the habit of doing this regularly. So I'm just kind of picking out something that I need to do in my craft room, or that I'm doing for a project, and then just jumping on here and doing it with y'all. So that's what I was doing tonight. I look forward to seeing y'all in Juju's live. She goes live at 10 o'clock Central Time. And then after her, usually at 12 o'clock, is Late Night Lori. But I think she's not doing one tonight. She's out traveling. So we may have to get to guess where in the world Late Night Lori is. But I look forward to seeing y'all in the other lives. And hopefully y'all will come back and see me tomorrow night. Y'all have fun, be crafty, be creative, and I hope you're nice to people. Bye.